what are you doing? You're an 80s kid and you're jamming the 80s jams, right? I mean, it's like, just jamming away. I mean, it's like, I'm an 80s kid jamming the 80s jams. We're a little late today. Good afternoon. Welcome to Monarchs Mocha. Monarchs checking out of the hotel. So because we checked out, I'm a few minutes late, although the bus loaded up at 12, between 12 and 12:30. I would say a third of the team went to the mall. A third stayed back at the hotel to kick it. A few guys played golf. I came downtown to Sioux Falls and get a coffee like we've been doing every time we're in Sioux Falls. We do the same thing every time. We come down here, have a cup, and today it is, again, the cold brew once again. And I didn't get this yesterday, but last time I was here, remember, guys, remember this? Can you see it there? Ooh, it's the avocado brownie, which sounds kind of initially not that great, but it's awesome. So, that's what I'm doing. What are you guys doing? Questions and comments throughout the show. Bring this graphic down right here. And, well, let's start with last night, winning 2 ball games, okay? Textbook Monarchs games. Great pitching. It's really textbook baseball. Great pitching, dominating offense, suffocating bullpen, all those things playing into the game. And some great defense, too. It was a couple of really good plays last night. Let's check out game number 1. Little good news for you in 3, 2, 1. This is good news highlights number 1 from last night. Here we go.
Gray looks to second. Once, twice. Here he goes.
Actually, that's the night before. Sorry, that's last week. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1. It's not that early, is it?
One down here, and it's scoreless in the first inning. Pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Get on through. Yeah, we'll base it. It's 1-0 Kansas City. Swinney will race for third. Throw is to third base. They do get him, though. It's 1-0 Kansas City. Throw from K. Got in right field. Does get Darnell Swinney at third. 0-2 hit out to right. Come on, sit down. Yeah, we'll base it. That'll score a run. Swinney turns, racing for third. Thrown out. He'll put the brakes on, head back to second. It's 2-0 Kansas City. His Gabby Girl has another RBI tonight. His 82nd. It's 2-0. Here's a high out to a right center field. That's pretty well hit. On the run at the warning track. That ball is going to be gone. See you later. 3-run home run. He will touch a ball. See you later. First pitch hitting in the inning. Paying that big-time dividends. As Kansas City says, see you later. Morgan McCullough, he will touch him all, and he does. Rhodes from that high set looks to second, 2-2. Ground ball to short. McCullough diving, nice play. Up with the throw to first and in time, and the game is over. Dandy play by McCullough diving, and he redeems himself with a throw earlier. Making a great play right there to get Henry 6-3 in the books, and you can notch this one. Final score, Monarchs a 5-3 winner, and the Monarchs have won another one, and adding to their impressive 2021 season, their 64th win.
Yeah, big win last night, 64th win for Kansas City. I'll show you 65 in a moment. Keith, good to see your friend Keith out there. I always enjoy seeing you, Keith. And, he may be the hardest working lumber recovery specialist I've ever seen. The guy works in the South Shore, has his normal job, and then he's out the ballpark making sure those bats are taken care of. He is a legend in the American Association, our friend Keith Patterson up there. And Gary, and I hope you have a great last homestand there up in Chicagoland. But we're down to Sioux Falls. Monarchs took 2 last night. That was game 1. Just the whole thing from game 1 last night, really. Justin Donatello, very yeoman-like. Remember this, too. And I don't think I talked enough about this during the entire broadcast. I did talk about it in game 1. Sioux Falls offense is pretty salty. It's what you're going to see offensively in the postseason. They're up at the top in on base percentage. They're down third or fourth in runs, but I think they're number one on base percentage, top 5 in average. Not quite the pop that maybe Chicago, Milwaukee, or even Cleveland have, but they have the ability to really hack at you. And the fact the Monarchs out-hacked them and the pitching shut them down was pretty big last night. So anyway, have the Monarchs secure? We're going to get to that in just a moment, Brian, but that's a good question. Hold it just a moment. We'll get to that in a moment because there has been a little change in the postseason. We'll talk about that next. Nothing major for the Monarchs, but I think it will bode well for us. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. You guys got this. Thank you very much. All right, game 2, really, Kima Sampson was what he's been doing, very consistently out there. There was the blip in Chicago, but it really wasn't a blip. It was more the walks. He had the strikeouts again. Sampson really locking in last night in game 2. Really in game 1, the unsung hero, I thought too, we have to throw in there in game 1 was Jeremy Rhodes. Now, Rhodes got a little trouble in the 7th, but it was only because he erred. The Monarchs had a chance to turn a double play ball. Don't do it. And the inning stays wide open. Now, you can't charge an error on a double play ball, but that being said, there is that. And again, Carlos Diaz and Jamison McGrain in game 2 were nails last night. That's what you're going to see. Diaz lock it down, and then McGrain into that 9th inning role, save, setup guy. That's the way it looks right now. Okay, game number 2 last night. Monarchs, again, got off to a good start. 4-0 early. Let's roll those good news highlights in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Burks will ground it sharply down the third baseline. That's a base hit toward the corner. Heading for third is McCullough. He will hold up right there, will he? He'll be waved around. Here's a relay throw coming up. Their throw coming on. Doesn't matter. They put it in their pocket. Professional debut. Ground ball on the right side. 3-4 hole. Burks will be waved around. Throw from right field from Ulrich. It's high and not in time. Sliding in there, Charson Burks. 1-0 to Isabel. Hit out toward right. Drifting back is Ulrich. He's still on the run. He's at the track, at the wall. That ball will go out of here. Yep, see you later. The other way for Ebendel. Isabel kept carrying and carrying. See you later. 2-run home run. He will touch them all. Monarchs 4, Canaries nothing. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 got him. A 1, a 2, and a 3. How you like me now? 3 in a row. He went high out toward left field. Drifting back is Mike Hart at the track, at the wall, looking up, and that ball is gone. See you later. 2-run home run. He will touch them all. And Darnell Sweeney just went deep. See you later. With a charge of 1 to left, and Mike Hart says, yep, it's out of here. See you later, Darnell Sweeney. He will touch them all. Here's one hit out toward left center field. That's pretty well hit. On the run, at the track, and at the wall. That ball is gone. See you later. A solo home run for Ebendel Isabel. He's gone yard again. That one, not much of a doubt right there. Just kept carrying and deep into the Sioux Falls evening. See you later. Ground ball to third. There's Sweeney. He'll field on to first base in plenty of time, and you can notch this one. It's a good news times 2 tonight. Monarchs take both ends of the double dip here. Monarchs have celebrated 3 winners. How about this one? They put it in their pocket.
How about that one? Yeah, Monarchs winning both last night. 7-3 in game number 2. Ebendel Isabel going deep twice last night. I mentioned this in the opening game last night. I said Isabel, I mentioned over the weekend too. I think I said Sunday. He's got a chance to be the 7th Monarch with double-digit home runs this year. And if you add in the home runs for Yon Hernandez, that makes 8 Monarchs. I can't confirm this, but I have a hard time believing any one of the American Association, especially with the numbers this team's put up long ball-wise, has ever had 8 players go double digits in home runs. And you've got career highs for McCullough, Willis, I believe Casey hit career high, Darnell Sweeney, all career highs. One more number too. One more item as well. It looks like Gabby Guerrero is going to probably finish third in the league in RBIs, it looks like. Now, Morgan McCullough, now we kind of touched on this over the weekend. I haven't dove in too much. It's in the game notes. The media folks are aware of it. I haven't been a big deal of it just because it's still a work in progress, I should say. But McCullough is, at the moment, 1 point ahead in the batting title. Now, he's also got pretty good competition with Kraus and Boscan from Fargo, Nearier from Cleveland, Lago's down a bit, but those four are all in a real nip and tuck battle. Morgan 345, Kraus and Boscan 344, and then Nearier at 342. So they're all bunched up right in there. Monarchs, I mentioned RBIs. Martin with Winnipeg has got 97. Gabby's got 83. He's third. And then Adam Brett Walker, 95. But just kind of looking at a couple of the numbers there that as far as league numbers, now RBI numbers for the club, there's a couple numbers. They're not good. I talked about this last night. There's some really good offensive numbers as a collective. I mean, record-setting numbers as a collective. But as individuals, and a lot of these individual numbers, the big years that the Monarchs had, or the old T-Bones, happened with some teams that weren't very good and had really one guy doing all the work, most of the heavy lifting. This club, everybody does the heavy lifting, so it's a collective. So perhaps Gabby on another club might have another handful of RBIs, but this club's also got Gillespie. It's got, I believe, 70 now, right? I mean, McCullough is he and Ryan Grosjean in the 60s. Sarah says, sorry if I joined you late. Have you talked about watch parties? I'm going to get to that, but I'll go ahead and talk about it here in a moment, Sarah, but we will get to that. There is a watch party scheduled, and we will give you more details. I brought it up on the broadcast last night. I don't think I have a graphic, but I got some things I'll read to you in a moment. Give that to you. Go Monarchs, Greg. Amen, my friend. Amen, my friend. Amen, Monarchs family. Amen. Let's all cheer along. Okay, Brian asking, let's go to the standings here because Brian's asking what he's asking will actually load right into what we're going to talk about with the standings next. Now, last night, as we went off the air, Milwaukee had just lost to Lincoln, but Winnipeg and Fargo and Chicago were all still playing. All those games were still going on. There was only one game in the association last night with no implications of the postseason. That was King County hosting the Garys. And Gary won that 1-0. Everything else had some kind of playoff implications going in the American Association in some form or fashion. Now, to some degree, ours was kind of probably minor because really all of ours, and I guess what Brian's asking is where the Monarchs sit for the overall best record. Let's bring that up for you right now and bring that up. And there you go. Last night with the Milwaukee loss, this is actually the wrong one. This is not the right one. Let's try it again. Sorry about that. There we go. I just loaded this in there. Let's try it again here. I swear I did it. I must have grabbed the wrong one. I did this the other day too, didn't I? Here we go. Here's 9-1-21 standings. Let's try it again. Because I know I just saw these a moment ago. Here we go. Yeah, let's load this in there. I believe this is the right one. Yeah, it is. There we go. Milwaukee, even though they lost last night, everything worked out because Winnipeg lost to Chicago. Winnipeg's lost 6 in a row. Winnipeg's going to finish. I guess if you're a Goldeye fan, you kind of wish, well, maybe we should have gone to Canada earlier. I'm going to tell you this. The Goldeyes probably have a better shot if they would not have gone to Canada. That's my theory. Now, granted, they covered the ground up with the JV teams going up, but I really think they were playing pretty good baseball in Tennessee. But I may be the only person that thinks that. But anyway, look at the little tick marks next to Chicago, Fargo, and Milwaukee. They have all 3 clinched playoff spots, although Milwaukee's chance for the division, they've got to win out and have Chicago lose out. But it looks like Milwaukee for sure. At the moment, the magic number, I believe, because Chicago's got 5 games left. They're up by 3. So their magic number, I believe, is 2 against Fargo, and it's 1 against Milwaukee. Now, Again, Milwaukee's got to win out. Chicago's got to lose out. So nothing there yet. But I'll get your questions in just a moment, folks. But anyway, you see the tick marks there. Milwaukee is the winner, last winner to get in. So they're at the worst case scenario. They're the playing game. But there's a game between them and Fargo. And that's probably the real battle going into this weekend. And just looking ahead for both ball clubs here. And let's see here, because Friday, Fargo's at Winnipeg. That's right. Fargo's at Winnipeg. Chicago's at King County. And Milwaukee is at Gary. So you've got all three teams in the North are playing teams that are out of it. I would tell you that probably the toughest matchup might be the trip for Chicago to King County. King County's got a pretty good pitching staff, but Milwaukee has got a really good chance to slip past Fargo. I don't know what Fargo's going to take up there. That's the thing. I don't know if Fargo's going to take up their full squad or what that story is. We'll have to look at that when those things come out. So again, I'll get your questions and comments in a moment. Here on Monarchs Mocha, Dan Vaughn with you. All right, here we go. South Division. That's the only thing that's been decided. Monarchs with a star next to the name. Monarchs have clinched the South. Now, the question was asked by Brian. Have the Monarchs secured, let me pull it back up again. Have the Monarchs secured home field advantage throughout the playoffs? Well, Kansas City winning 2 ball games last night. They're 65-30. They are 6 games ahead of Chicago with 5 to play. So I tell you, yes. All the Monarchs had to do last night was win 1 of 2. The Monarchs won both. So the Monarchs getting both wins last night. If the Monarchs lost the next 5 ball games, they'd be 65-35. Chicago would have to win out, but even then, they would be tied with Kansas City, and the Monarchs have the tiebreaker. Remember, Kansas City did beat them in the head-to-head this year. 3-0 in Kansas City and lost the 2 games there, but finished up 4-2. So the Monarchs have clinched that against them. So, yes. And again, Cleburne, 2 games clear of Lincoln. Half game between Sioux City and Lincoln. Now tonight, Sioux City is in Fargo, and it'll be check that real quickly here because I got game times. I think those are day. I think that's a day game today, I believe. Yeah, no, it's a night game. Sioux City and Fargo. That's right. It's Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday. Sioux City's at Fargo. Milwaukee with Lincoln. Everything's at night. And then we'll be watching Houston and Cleburne tonight. So there is the way things sit in the association currently. So there is the story. Kansas City has 6 ball games left. 5 ball games left and have a lead of 5 ball games. But the Monarchs have a tie against Chicago. Tie. The Monarchs have the tiebreaker. So Chicago is playing for number 2. There's still plenty to play for, but Kansas City, that's where this series was huge. And winning these ball games here, winning this series was huge. And Joe told us that at the top step yesterday before game 1 that, hey, there's still plenty to play for. And this team still has things in front of them. And it's now to keep this thing going. I think now they'd like to sweep Sioux Falls. Oh, I said Winnipeg. And number 2, secondary to this, they want to go down to Cleburne and play good. They don't want to go down there and lay an egg, but they also want to get Matt Hall some more work to stretch him out. That's probably goal number 1. Also to get the bullpen, get them set up one more time. They're getting this routine with Diaz into McGrain. And I would also tell you that they'd like to see a couple other guys get a little action as well. And then you also got the numbers of the team, the personal numbers, the McCulloughs, the Diaz numbers. Those kind of things are also important to Joe as well. But you're going to see this team go down to Cleveland and take it just like it'd be any other series. It's not. They're going to take it like that. And they're not going to take – obviously, you won't in the 4-game series, I believe Mathis won't go down, but they will take Schaefer and we'll take Samson will go down, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I know that they expect to have Schaefer down there this weekend. We do know there'll be a Hall going down as well. And the bullpen may get a start down there. because again, the next ball game will not be until next Friday for the postseason. So, okay, let's play catch up here. Get to the watch parties in a moment. Kenny saying, remember 1 week? Yes. Remember, too, this team started 4-8 out of the gate and still the best record. And you'll wonder where they might be without the 4-8, but I think you got to feel pretty good. 65 wins. That's a franchise high. 35 games above 500. This is the Monarchs franchise / T-Bone / Duluth Ball Club has been playing ball since 96. The high watermark was 62 wins a couple of years ago, and we've lapped the field. And I'm going to say it again to you folks, and I'm going to say this one more time. And if you're a Monarchs fan, you should know and thank your lucky stars that Joe Capietra is your manager, because he's done this now over 4 consecutive years. No manager's even done that over 2. I mean, it's really amazing what he's done, and it kind of head scratching. There's been a lot of success in this league. St. Paul, Fargo, Gary, Sioux Falls, Sioux City have all had success. Winnipeg, while the Kansas City franchise on the field floundered for the better part of the existence in Kansas City, except for the 2008, the 2010 seasons. And even the year they won the championship, the team was below 500, kind of snuck in and made a run late, got hot. And they have never really had this kind of long-term success, and it all goes to Joe Capietra. I don't think anybody quite realizes that. What goes on between those lines of Joe and his staff with Bill Sobey, John West, Frank White, Mike Hitteman, what all goes on between and Jay Hendricks. Jay's a part of this thing too. Jay, our general manager, vice president, also part of this thing. What they're doing between the lines to put this thing together and what Joe's done, this philosophy and culture. And I see no reason why we're not sitting here next year going, well, I'm not going to tell you we're going to be the best record, but I do believe what this philosophy is, players will come here. They will come play for the Monarchs. Plain and simple. Kenny brings up a really good point there. Any Monarchs champ gear yet? I do not know that, Rob. If anyone for the ball club's watching, Lance would know. I've not heard of any, but I would imagine there will be some, because we have another thing we have that's great. Our merch team with Lance and Pat, what they do, phenomenal. I mean, we've had T-shirts from both K-State for KU. I mean, they are turning stuff out. Wyandotte proud, Cool Papa T-shirts. I mean, they are really turning stuff out. And if you've been to the shop, wow. I've got more Kansas City Monarchs T-shirts than I know what to do with, because they keep putting out great ones. And I'm like, I got to get this one. I got to get that one. So yeah, Rob, nothing yet, but I imagine there will be. So stand by for that, okay? We will get you updates on that. Really enjoyed the game last Saturday night. Let's get some playoff wins. Amen to that. I'm glad y'all were out there, and I appreciate y'all coming by. We love our fans, and I hope you guys will come back and get those monarchsbaseball.com playoff tickets. I'll get to more of that in a moment, but I'm so happy you had a good time. Sarah said, don't jinx them. Did I jinx them into what? What did I jinx? Sarah, what did I jinx? There's 2 schools of thought. The jinx is a real thing and the jinx is not. I tend to fall on the side of the jinx is a real thing in certain places. Like when my wife says something about, they can always blow it. And yeah, I remember when Texas Tech was up by 2 touchdowns and my wife made a comment and they blew it. About it. Yeah. I think what he's saying is Champs gear. There'll be division. I think what he's trying to say is division championship gear. There'll be something along those lines, I'm sure. I would think. I don't know if you necessarily meant championship. I don't think we have a parade planned yet. No, that's bad karma. I was happy to see you. Yes, he's a really cool dude. Somebody asked me last night in the broadcast, haven't had a chance to talk to him. I really did. He's really cool. Paulo Orlando, who's talking about just a really good guy, and a group full of really good guys. A relationship that was built with Joe and the staff back in the spring when he went down to Mexico. Christian Colon, of course, was also going to be a Monarch, and those relationships are important. Yeah, Kenny, you know what I'm talking about? I got a bone to pick with you, Kenny, but I can't really pick a bone with you because I'm not really mad at you. I'm more mad at your neighbors down in Austin. A lot of my K-State and KU faithful friends are also the same way. I have no problem with OU necessarily. It's your friends down in Austin I have a real problem with. And he's definitely a class act, Paul Orlando, and a team full of class acts. But he and I, let me tell you how it goes. I introduced myself to Paulo, and I'm the broadcaster. Here's an old media guy standing around the clubhouse with his tag on, his nice shirt on, and just standing there lurking around with a microphone. And he engaged me as if we were best mates. And we chatted about his family, about his time, how he loves Olathe, and just talking about his nephew and his kids and just everything. And that's been the story with all these guys. Actually, who was it? I remember when Jacob Lindgren signed. He came across the room and met me. I mean, there's these guys are just really good guys. I mean, the conversations I've had with some of these guys off the record, just kicking it. I mean, I just had a great conversation with Daniel Wassinger this morning, and just really cool guys. Let's see, I'm missing something here. Yeah, Kenny, you feel me, right? You feel me. All right, did I miss anything here? All right, question was asked about a couple things. The watch parties, and let's get going to that. Postseason baseball tickets are on sale now at monarchsbaseball.com. Morgan and the crew, they had a meeting. When we were talking yesterday, they were meeting about all this. So there is a couple things to give you about the postseason. So let me pull those up for you. Give me a moment here. I can let let me read this to you quickly here. The watch party that we're being asked about for the road games, let me pull this up for you so I can read it to you verbatim. Watch parties at the Legends Club at the ballpark. Come on, we pull it up. Here we go. It's a $10 Legends Club watch party. It's any away playoff. So all the away playoff games will be at Legends Club. All you can eat pyramid pizza. Pyramid pizza. $5 beers, $6 Ritas, free parking, trivia, minute to win it bingo, and great prizes and fun at the Legends Club. So that's every road game. Okay. So every road game. Also, I got one more thing I want to give you too. This one came out as well. We were on the air yesterday when this happened. So let me give this to you. For you folks that are asking about some of the things, we've got a playoff special, and I'm going to give it to you right now. And let me load it into the system here. But yeah, the watch parties again. That's for the road games, and that'll be. I believe that would be Monday week. Is that right? Just trying to think here in my head. What is it? Wednesday? Yeah, that'd be right. Okay, let's see if this works for us here. Fingers crossed, because I'm just trying to get this on there. Let's hope it works. Don't you love when DV produces on the fly? It's always an iffy proposition if it's going to happen here. Here from Coffea in Sioux Falls, my favorite coffee shop in Sioux Falls, and maybe it's the top two in the league for me. I love this one and the one in Lincoln. Okay, yeah, it will work. Yay. Here we go. All righty, folks. There we go. Postseason pack. Let me bring this up for you on the screen. Bring the logo down, the graphic down. Yeah, this coffee shop and the one in Lincoln are my two favorites. Best cold brews in the league by far. The Lincoln there at the mill has the best the best cold brew on tap is here. Phenomenal stuff. Great location downtown Sioux Falls too, by the way. COFFEA. So here we go. postseason 4-pack, $60 infield, 180 Legends Club. There's your graphic right there for that. So you can check that on monarchsbaseball.com or contact the ticket office. We also got a sweet special for 20 and 40. You see those prices down there. You can check this out. It's all online right now. But single game tickets for the postseason are listed down the left column right there. But that postseason 4-pack, 1 ticket to any 4 home games plus a limited edition hat. So I guarantee that's going to be a special cap right there. So $60 for the infield, 180 for Legends Club. So there is right there the postseason special that it's out right now. So check that out. Question being asked, just out of curiosity, how's the structure work for the players? Does that mean you're talking about in the regular season? There is a contract. There's a salary cap that you can't go over. I mean, you can't pay. Obviously, you can't sign a guy for $1 million. I mean, that's not the way it works. But you have to balance out your salary cap. Also, your roster restrictions. You only have so many veterans, so many rookies, all that. But they get paid during the season. Once the season starts, they get paid every 2 weeks, just like any other business. They get a per diem on the road, which I believe is $22, I believe. That's correct. I think a day. I think that's right. 22 or 25. I know it's gone up a little bit over the years. Per diem. So every day the team's on the road, they get some meal money as well. Now, a lot of that time, one of those days usually goes to their clubhouse dues on the road for the guy who washes the uniforms and provides their food on the road. But yeah, they get that. So there's that. And it's obviously a veteran's going to make more. Let's just say I'll use peanuts instead of dollars. Let's say the veteran gets 5 peanuts, the rookie gets 1, but they're all getting their peanuts. Okay, everybody gets the same amount of per diem though. So I hope that answers your question a little bit, but this is not a get-rich-quick scheme for any of us in this business. It is a love of the game and pursuing our dreams and our passions and things we love. And to me, now granted, I'm not a player. Now, for me to be able to broadcast and get paid to do it is a blessing. Because I say it all the time, I'd probably do it for free. Don't tell my wife that. She'd probably have me committed. But I would. I mean, that's how much I love what I do. Let's see here. It does make sense. Good. Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, they don't get paid year round, and that's why these guys have extra jobs the off season. A lot of guys will play winter ball. Some guys teach, coach. For example, remember Dylan Tice, who played for our club a couple of years ago. He coaches and does seminars works on teaching lessons. Some guys will drive Uber. Some guys substitute teach. Some guys go back to school. Some guys have separate jobs with their family. And again, some guys play winter ball, which can be very lucrative in certain countries. Venezuela, Dominican Republic. Australia is great because you get to fly across the country if there's no pandemic. Let's see here. Karen, already got your playoff tickets. Good on you. I knew you would. There's no doubt you already got them. You probably, you were those good fans that got them right. They went on sale. I know you did. So just a little bit here. Questions, comments as well. Let's see here. Steve says, hi, Dan. I'm Grand Rapids, Michigan, home of the West Michigan Whitecaps, leading KC from 13-9. Follow the T-Bones in. I've enjoyed watching the success of Monarchs live. Love Monarchs Mocha. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Steve. Steve, I've spent a lot of time there in Grand Rapids. Comstock Park, Michigan's where the ballpark is. I don't remember the name of the ballpark. Wasn't Fifth Third, was it? I was there back in the late 90s when I was in Burlington, Iowa, and the Tigers have been there forever. And I've been there since then to cover some Australian players that have come through there. And so, yeah, I know West Michigan, the Whitecaps well. It's a great park, really cool place. And, yeah, Steve, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words. We really do appreciate it. And, again, Great ballpark up there. There used to be a really cool display, and I know there was a fire there, 2008 or 9, something like that. But they had upstairs in the press area and also the suite level, they had old pictures of baseball from West Michigan, and one of those were the Grand Rapids women's team in the League of Their Own movie. Remember League of Their Own? You know, the Rockford Peaches and all that, and South Bend. Well, there's a team in Grand Rapids, and Grand Rapids was very big in the Women's Professional Baseball League in the 1940s and 50s. They had great black and white photos upstairs in the suite level. I love that place. It was like a little miniature museum. I don't know if those have survived the fire. There was a fire upstairs, and Steve, you may remember this, probably before you were there, but it was in the mid 2000s. And I don't know how it destroyed. I've not been upstairs since. Well, I was there 2016, I guess, covering some Australians that were through there. Maybe 14 and 15. There were 2 Australian managers in the Midwest League, and I went and covered them up there facing off in Grand Rapids. But I think those photos weren't there then, but they used to have a really cool photo display. And this is, I think that fire might have been around 13. So they may have still been kind of renovating, if I remember correctly, now that it's all coming back to me. But they used to have all those photos of the Women's Professional Baseball League up there in Grand Rapids. It was really cool. I mean, really, really cool. But anyway, frozen on my end. Sorry, Mom, don't want to tell you. Maybe it's because you're in South Bend. I don't know. Or Elkhart. I don't know. No, I love you, Mom. Just kidding. It's not winter there yet. Oh, it's back. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it was Fifth Third Bank. And now it's LMCU. Okay, LMCU. That makes sense. So, yeah, I couldn't remember. It was Fifth Third was a big – at one time, Fifth Third had like 4 ballparks in that league, didn't they? I think they did. Seems like it. Yeah, Tigers promote all their good play. Do you remember Warwick Saupold? He was an Australian mate of mine who played there. And I believe Ulrich Majowski was there most recently. Ulrich's a dear mate of mine. I'm big friends with his family. And Ulrich, who was born in South Africa, raised in Australia, played there. He's in high A. He's double A now, but he was there 2 years ago. Bojo was an all-star there. Know him very well. Yeah, Tigers and Rangers and oh boy. Oh no. All right, last call for questions and comments. It's lunchtime for me here in Sioux Falls. I'm at Coffea, great coffee shop in downtown Sioux Falls, the corner of Phillips and 10th. Great town, Sioux Falls, the walking art district here. There's all these sculptures along the street. When I showed those to you yesterday, you walk down the street and you can see these really great local sculptures up and down the main drag here. It's really kind of cool, and I love coming here. I love this little town, and I hope they get a ballpark down here. It'd be really great. Tonight out the Birdcage, Monarchs continue their march toward the playoffs as it's already secure, and the Monarchs will continue that march from here in Sioux Falls. Our airtime tonight will be, again, at the top of the hour, 7:05. Now, I'm not saying you got to watch the video, but if you want to watch Joey Zanaboni and his young man Parker with him, that's the place to go. And he's the voice of the Canaries, and they'll put on a great show, and you'll be entertained. You want the Monarchs show, you got to go to this Monarchs Broadcast Network to MixLR. And that I'll put up on the screen for you as well. This is the link to that. It's on MixLR, and if you go on there and click that you want to be notified, it'll let you know every time we go on the air on the radio side. And for example, last night, you would have heard things about 2 great stories with the Monarchs on this day. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about a guy, Steel Arm Tyler. Steel Arm Tyler. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him tonight, and that's that deep content in Monarchs 101 with DV. It's the master's class of Monarchs baseball with our partners, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, historic 18th and Vine. We'll dive into that story of Steel Arm Tyler tonight because his name jumped out at me. He only had 1 year at the Monarchs, but he was a pretty good ball player, and apparently later on in life became like a civic kind of character in his hometown in Kentucky. But he was a pretty good ball player. I'm going to dive into a little bit of him tonight on Monarchs 101 with DV. Also, we'll have a Coors Light flashback moment, Joe Capietka's top step with Midwest Ford. dealers, also your association numbers, all that tonight. You won't get that on the American Association site. You'll get the broadcast on the video. You won't get my audio, and you won't get our story. You won't get a chance to interact with us and hear and do our fourth. If you have a question to broadcast, I'll try to get to it. For you folks that follow me on Facebook or YouTube, go to YouTube and look up Dan Vaughn Jr. You can also follow the broadcast there on my YouTube channel, and it's on our booth cam. I've got a booth cam going, and you can see me working away and doing my thing. So that's what will be in the broadcast booth tonight. On the air at 6:35 from here in Sioux Falls. Start the music at 6:30. The Kansas City Lights by Steve Warner. And we roll it at 6:35, the pregame show, 7:05 first pitch from here in Sioux Falls. So there we go. Last call, questions, comments. I'll wait for you here. And then we will be on our way. Let me, did I send out the link, broadcast link? There we go. And again, to follow me on Twitter, put that in there too for you. There we go. There is my Twitter handle right there. And also Dan Vaughn Jr. is also, you'll find my YouTube page. It's got a little scattershot. It's got a lot of stuff on there. Got to fight through some of it, but if you'll go on there, the live will come up. And the booth cam was on tonight. If you want to watch the game from the booth cam, you're not going to watch the game on the field, but you can watch us chat. You're hearing the audio and watching me do my thing, and maybe my reaction on a home run happens. Go crazy. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. So there you go. There's your link to the Mixlr broadcast. And there's my Twitter. And, of course, my staff will be having the Monarchs Twitter covered as well, monarchsbaseball.com, where Paul Coleman does a great job keeping our website updated. Him and Morgan do a phenomenal job of doing that, keeping all the graphics up on Facebook. Morgan does that, her team. And then my team helping out with Twitter tonight from the broadcast booth. And we'll be giving you guys the updates per inning on Twitter. So if you step away, follow our team on Twitter, follow Monarchs on Twitter, Kansas City Monarchs on Twitter. You can also get the updates as well. So there we go. Last call. Cold brew. Give you guys a minute or so, and we'll again, off day tomorrow. There'll be no show. I may do a show tomorrow from Kansas City. It depends on what time we get in and how I get kind of sorted, because I'm heading down to Texas early. Team will not leave until late tomorrow night. We'll get in late tonight, and then they'll be basically there in KC. We'll reload the bus or keep the bus there at the ballpark, head out tomorrow night late. They'll drive overnight. I'm going to Dallas early, to Texas early to be with my wife, because I miss my wife. I love my wife. So got to hug my wife. You guys that are married know what I'm talking about. You wives know what I'm talking about, right? You want to see your husband. Even me. I mean, I'm punching way above my weight, so I need to see my wife, right? All right, everybody. Much love to y'all. Virtual hugs. Give it to you every time. I say it every time. Let's be better tomorrow we were today. Let's be better fans tomorrow we were today. Let's continue to show more love, more empathy, and just be better people going forward. The world's a bit of a mess sometimes. If we all love each other and love those around us, we will fight on and we'll have a better tomorrow. Okay, I really believe that. So much love to you all. We know what we do here, though. We all do this together. Put this up. On the count of three, we're all going to say go Monarchs, okay? Then I'll see you in the broadcast tonight. Here we go. You guys ready? Thanks for joining me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'll see you in the broadcast tonight, everybody.